Radio 550 WGR in Rochester. We're on 107.7 in Buffalo, 104.7 in Buffalo, 4 stations across the radio. And of course, we're live on our video stream on our social sites, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube at T2G Buffalo. Brian Colziel with you, PGA Pro Jeff Meadus. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit like spring out there. Starting to get excited. We're here at East Aurora Country Club on. Always love driving in here. The grounds are so meticulous, and the clubhouse is really cozy and nice place to be.
Yeah, we're inside the clubhouse. If you've never seen it, well, check out our video stream again at T2G Buffalo on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Coming up here in just a few moments, we'll have a few guests from East Aurora Country Club. PGA Pro David Jones, Head Superintendent Drew Thompson. We'll talk to them coming up here in just one moment. At 7:45, Kevin Sylvester, who is at the Valero Texas Open. He's going to be joining us with his coverage this week of the PGA Tour. And, of course, in the middle segment, Jeff and I will preview next week's Masters, which it's gotten here quick, Jeff. Next week we'll be humming the theme song from the Masters, and the great TV coverage we'll be watching all week with no commercials. I love it.
I might have already been humming that driving down the road a couple times, watching flowers start to pop up and stuff. And just we'll see the commercials during the basketball this week too, so that'll be fun to get ready for.
And tomorrow kind of starts Masters week. Drive, chip, and putts tomorrow morning, and we have Claire Brady from Western New York going down there to represent the Western New York PGA section, so that's exciting.
That's literally one of my favorite days of television of the year, to watch that. So tomorrow morning, Sunday morning at Augusta, the kids with the drive, chip, and putt. We've had a lot of local participation in that event through our drive, chip, and putt program. So our executive director from the Western New York PGA, Victoria Sherrill's down there with her, and what a cool experience for kids. Can you imagine just being on the grounds of Augusta and watching the tour players and getting to compete too? Plus, the other thing is they're competing. They're trying to win something, not just being there. You're trying to win something cool. And who is it? Sahith Theegala is the first person ever to go through that. And now
Akshay
Bhatia.
That's right. Yes. Akshay Bhatia was part of drive, chip, and putt, and then of course participated in the real Masters tournament itself.
Yeah. So all these kids have dreams, I guarantee it. And this is the first step for a lot of them.
And today is the final round of the Augusta National Women's Invitational as well. That took place at a nearby course for the first 2 rounds, and then the final rounds today.
Another great event. I feel like Augusta, this is where everybody gets to say they seem to do everything right, from the drive, chip, and putt to the Augusta Women's National. Another great tournament for the women. They get to compete there today, final round, playing at the Augusta National for a major title. This is probably one of the biggest titles in the women's amateur circuit, behind maybe the U.S. Women's Open or anything like that.
Yeah. All right. So more on the Masters coming up. We'll preview that. As we said, we're live here at East Aurora Country Club, and joining us now, Drew Thompson, Superintendent, David Jones, PGA Pro, for being here. Drew, David, thanks for having us. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to just move your mic just a little closer here. All right. So we walked in, as always, to the beautiful clubhouse here, and we walked in and we were greeted with a blueprint sign.
Sure.
Walked in right away, Drew. Tell us a little bit about this. You got some renovation plans upcoming here.
We do. Some exciting times at East Aurora, no doubt about it. We've through a long period of planning and looking at the golf course. We started back in 2016. Actually, oddly enough, I think that was the year that David joined us, and we put together a long-term plan, master plan for the grounds. We've worked through that original one almost completely over the last 10 years, and now we're on to bigger and better things. Those of you that have been to East Aurora know that our range situation isn't ideal. And one of the goals of this whole process was to try and free up some areas so that we could have a better practice type facility. Given our limited space, we found the best way to do that was to put an enclosed range in. We're going to not this year, but next year, we're going to put up a roughly 50 by 50 yard structure with top tracers in each of the bays. Something different in Western New York. Will with the potential to have it be less seasonally, depending on how things go. But in order to do that, we have to move some things around. So there's going to be some significant changes to the 4th and the 5th hole. 5th hole tee is going to move, and the entire 4th hole is going to get redone and shifted a bit to the left. And if you've played out here, you know that the 4th hole has been a controversial hole, a 230-yard par 3.
What's controversial? Sling a 4-iron.
Yeah,
no
right.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case for those that maybe aren't as familiar with it, yeah, the fourth hole is a par 3, elevated green.
Yep.
And then I know you mentioned the fifth hole, a shorter par 4 that comes back kind of running parallel to it. And that's going to be kind of where the bulk of this work is going to be done.
Yep, that corner of the golf course. Yeah, we're going to move some things around. And then long term, 3 years out, we're going to do some changes to the 16th hole to lengthen it a bit. We're also, one of the other exciting things that we're doing is we're going to revamp our practice putting green. And our practice putting green, it serves the purpose right now, but we're going to, our plan and goal is to make it much larger and have a large section of it be a little bit more rolling, or a chance to have some social events. Nowhere near to the extent of the Pinehurst putting course, but something that kind of carries that thought process, so that people can go out and have a good time, have a couple of drinks right here near the clubhouse, and do some putting contests. It's a pretty exciting thing.
To me, it's cool. This is looking forward where golf is going, right? And you take a practice facility, you're going to put top tracer in, you're going to have it enclosed. It might be more 3Cs, and then maybe not on a cold winter day, but other days it can be used and easy to maintain, and easy to clean up. And then something like that putting green just adds to the experience at a club. So now you got something else to do if you want to have a 9-hole putting contest with a junior event or something. Now you got room to do that. Will you do that in house, or will you do that a little bit of both? Or
we've contracted with excuse me, Ferries Golf.
Yep. Everybody knows them in the area.
Yep. Tony has been working here for all the 10 years of the plan. Does amazing work. Punch list is not even a word that we need to use when we talk about him. Everything's buttoned up nice and tidy when he's done. He's been a wonder to work with, and it allows us to focus on what we need to focus on as far as golf course maintenance goes. So
good point. Yeah.
The other thing that we're going to add into this whole thing is we're going to address our short game area as well. So that's we're going to have a very unique practice facility, something that we've needed sorely for a long time. And I think it's going to be exciting for us.
Yeah, it sounds functional and useful too.
Right.
Yeah. So from the golf side of it, David, what are you seeing in terms of maybe what this final vision is going to look like for everybody in terms of how your members and your guests might enjoy the golf course and the facility more now?
Right. So to echo Drew's point, everybody that has been here or is currently here recognizes where the shortfalls are. Those long-time members know it. The newer members, there's a bit of an education process to say, hey, listen, this is how we have to handle the range with our limited distances. So for us, from a club standpoint, just pure betterment of the facility, when people come on property, we're going to be sort of a wow. Again, we're going to be one of the only clubs up here, maybe the only one that's going to have the outdoor top tracer at a private facility with the putting green that has the rolling hills, the overall experience. So when new members come in and they're looking to pick a place to join, we're going to be past that. Oh, but the driving range. We're going to be wow. Look at this.
Yeah, this is cool.
How different this is.
Yeah.
And how much better I can get as a player from having these opportunities. And again, where Drew is closing on the short game facility. We've got some property over there that he's going to be able to open up when the holes shift. That we're going to have not just a green with a bunker. It's going to be more of an applied practice zone, so you can actually practice shots you're going to see on the golf course. And that was sort of the whole architect design, is that if you're going to practice short game, you should have the opportunity to practice the shots you're going to see,
right?
Not just warming up, swinging a wedge. So I'm super excited from the golf professional standpoint. I'm more excited to watch Drew manage this project.
Yeah,
me too.
There's a lot more. In the golf shop, we're secluded. We recognize members, relationships, sales and golf shop, but to watch a massive project like this take place, and really having super limited knowledge on what he does, I'm so excited to watch this project just go on its stages.
Yeah, as a golf professional, it's exciting because of the opportunities it presents for your members, for teaching, for programs, for junior for a million things. Yeah, and plus when you drive in now, it's going to even be cooler with that setup. It's going to look as nice as it looks now. It's going to look
And I think we've always wanted to expand on our social events calendar too. And if we can tie some of that to the golf, with this practice green, with this top tracer facility, the possibilities are endless. And we have some new management here in the clubhouse just doing an amazing job trying to get that moving in the right direction. So, it's everything's looking really good for East Aurora Country Club right now.
And you had just done a renovation on the 10th hole, correct?
Right.
Just was it
That was
close out 2 years ago, maybe?
Oh geez, I don't know. That seems it was a while ago.
I think 2 years ago is when
2 years
we
ago.
opened it up for the IGM. We were ready to play it for the
And that
first
seemed
time.
as though from watching it now, like that has kind of opened that hole up and made it and give it a whole nother different look to it and everything.
So the interesting thing that Drew and I have in our conversations daily, and with other members, are when we do a tree program, the very first thing we get is, boy, you're making the golf course easier. You're going to cut the trees down on 10. It's going to be too easy. We're not getting too easy.
Yeah.
I think the whole wonderful philosophy from the architect is that, sure, we can make certain holes easier for those who need it, but it's not going to be easier for players that fly the ball, players that can hit it a long ways. We're still challenging for them, but if you remove a bunker in front of a green, well, now the lesser player, lesser distance can roll one up. It's not going to change how Jeff plays it, or you or I or Drew. We're still going to fly it in on the par 3. So the designs and 10 in particular, by moving those trees down, the general thought was, oh, these young kids they're going to drive it. No, they're just hitting it left into the gunch because they're trying to hit a shot they shouldn't be hitting, or what the hole was not designed to be played.
And then the trees, people forget that trees take nutrients and they take sunlight, and it helps turf. And that brings me to a question: how do you match the greens when you move the greens? How do you match them to the ones that are on the golf course?
Well, that's one heck of a question. And I mean, seriously, I think about that every day. That's probably my biggest, point of focus for this whole project. And we have our plan at the moment, although not etched in stone, is there's 2 ways that we can do it. We've been top dressing with sand here for years, putting sand on the greens, as people see with aerification and other times during the year. So we've got about a 6-inch sand layer built up in our greens. So when we build that part of it, it's not going to be a problem. The surface, obviously the turf type, we're a 100-year-old golf course. We're Poa bent. That's what we are. And I'll tell you what, I think it makes the best putting surface in the world.
And
if it's managed correctly.
It seems no matter what you plant up here, in a couple of years, it's Poa bent anyway.
So our plan at the moment is one of 2 things. Either aerify, save the cores, spread the cores on the new green, seed over that, or we are going to reuse turf from the existing greens that we have. For example, when we build the 4th green, our kind of timeline of events is to move the 5th tee first, because the new green is going to go kind of where the 5th tee sits right now. So we're going to move the 5th tee first, get that healed in, and then get play moved over to that. Then we get to work on the 4th green without affecting the current 4th hole.
Gotcha.
And once we get that green all roughed in, which will hopefully be after Labor Day, Tony, I hope you're listening to this, we will move the turf from that green up to the new green. And if we need additional turf, the upper part of the 16th green will be used to take that turf from.
Got it. Yeah.
So that we have matching, because there's a lot of courses they'll go out and just build a new green and seed it to bent grass, and it does not match the rest of the golf course or greens on the golf course.
Yeah.
So
there's new bent grass species every year, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big area of focus for us. We don't want the membership or guests or anybody to notice that there's a difference with that green when it's all said and done. So.
And the timeline and the plan that you have, Drew, it seems as though this also can keep play going regularly while you're in the middle of this process.
That's our focus, is to not disrupt play, at least in between Memorial Day and Labor Day for the membership. So.
Which obviously is the prime time for here in Western New York. Yep. And we know, we're here later in the year for your great annual event, the International Junior Masters. And David, I know to have people from all over the world come to visit your facility here, and just kind of, this obviously will add another element to that event too.
Oh, absolutely. The kids, as you all know, they're not happier on this planet without a golf club in their hand on a driving range.
Oh, they hit a lot of balls.
They hit a lot of balls. So to have an opportunity where we don't have to restrict them, and that's really been a driving force in this project. Is 20 years ago when you're hitting a driver and you're the youth or even the average club member, a 300-yard drive was a big deal. It didn't happen very often. It was an anomaly. Now these young kids are carrying it 320, which brings in different areas of play on our golf course, which could create some situations out there. So that was a driving force. To answer the question about the kids and having a practice facility that they can actually use, as you know, our junior program here is we have some of the best in Western New York. Actually, Claire Brady is from here, so we have that to wear as
There you go.
as a bit of a bragging point. And she's our second one. Andrew Lukongo made it to the Drive Chip and Putt Nationals in 2016. So
Proud moment for East Aurora tomorrow morning.
it sure
Yes.
is. So yeah, we're gonna send a little blast out to the membership to let them know when to watch Claire. And if you're listening now, it's 11:15 is when her age bracket will go off. So yeah, we have those. Even with the limitations from some of our practice areas, we somehow generate the best youth players around, and then they all go on to represent in college.
But there's a good reason for that, because you guys allow kids to play here, and you create stuff for kids, and instead of creating barriers for kids, you create opportunities for kids to play here, which I think is unique in the area, and that's why you've got such a great junior program.
I would couple that with the golf course.
Yes.
When we've got a golf course that they can step up on, and to Drew's credit and his team, there's not a blade out of grass all summer, so they are practicing on some of the most fair, challenging conditions in Western New York. So they're only going to get better. And then, oh, by the way, throw in an uphill, downhill, side hill lie.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
Yep.
Now-
You learn
now
all the shots.
They're going
out
to learn
here.
it because they have to.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
absolutely.
not flat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not every hole doesn't play just driver wedge like maybe it does elsewhere. So that also provides a challenge. And the green complexes here, Drew, you work on them all the time. Like, they're challenging for any level, any skill level. So if you can adjust your game to play well here in your short game, spots, then that's going to translate elsewhere to become great golfers anywhere you play.
Absolute true story. When it's funny, we make jokes when we're going to do this putting green and putting course, with the part that's going to be rolling. I commonly joke with our master plan chairman that this is going to be probably used more than the other parts of the flat parts of the green, because that's more what you're going to see on a golf course. Yeah, our greens are rolling. They're, again, 100-year-old greens. That not all of them, of course, but a good chunk of them that have some good pitch and roll to them. But they're not unfair. Although I got some members here, I'm sure that would disagree with that statement in certain instances. But they offer a challenge, and they're a challenge to maintain. They're a challenge to play. So it's a big part of our defense too. We don't have the length, but you've really got to hit it straight here, and you got to be able to putt and chip. So.
You got to be able to putt and chip around here. Yeah.
And Jeff, you say it all the time. I mean, I feel like since I've known you here for almost 30 years now, this is when people come to you and say, how do I lower my score? I know that's where you always start, is the short game. You said that's how it can happen. Nothing's going to happen instantly, but that's how it's going to happen the quickest, right? Is to improve your short game.
Yeah, we used to say the best players in the world are the best players from 100 yards in. Well, now we say 130 because they hit it so far. But once you get a wedge in your hand, that's where you differentiate. A lot of people can sit there and make really beautiful swings on the driving range and hit shots, but playing is a different deal. And when you miss a green, saving par is a big deal, or getting up and down from 60 yards to get that birdie when you've hit it close and 2 on a par 5. That's what differentiates. It's about lowest score wins, right? And people often just want to work on the swing instead of working on the stuff that actually helps you score sometimes. I got lessons all the time. Like, you don't need to work on your swing anymore. Your swing is plenty good to play really good. Go work 100 yards in and see how good you can get from there.
That's what isn't that what they always said Tiger did with Earl, where he started him on the green and went backwards? I mean,
ideally that's the best way to teach kids, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Absolutely. If you look at 65% of your shots come within 100 yards. So why wouldn't you spend 65% of your practice time or more there?
And people probably do not, right? They
the
probably
tour
spend the most
players
time on the
do.
driver.
Tour players do. And I can
Right.
speak from a day in my office. I can count on one hand how many people I see on the short game area practicing, and the driving range will be packed. So it doesn't translate, even though you know where you're going to get better. People struggle with that, allotting the time to be there. So, with that percentages, when it's skewed that greatly, and if you look on tour, who wins every week? stroke gain putting, stroke gain approach.
Yeah.
If you look at those two statistics,
Scrambling.
you can basically
It's
pick
rarely
out who's gonna be
driving
top 5.
distance.
It's yeah, they're all
Right.
so as
They
Jeff
all-
said, they're all hitting it so good from
Right.
tee to green.
Of course, it helps if you can hit it farther. Of course, but
Yeah.
so you're right. But when you break down the numbers, it's rarely, oh, this guy was number 1 in driving distance and he won.
Right.
It can, but it's not usually what translates to a win, right?
It boils down to the simplest concept. Proximity to the hole is the number 1 factor in scoring. How close do you hit
Right.
it to the hole is the number 1 factor.
That's
in
why
scoring.
Scotty Scheffler's so good.
Yeah.
His
Yes.
distance control is lights out. We've seen it for the last 3-4 years now.
He pitching chips pretty good too.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let's get to our Western New York PGA tip of the week, brought to you by the Western New York PGA. You can go to wnypga.com, westernnewyork.pga.com. Get your son or daughter involved in the game. Get them a lesson with a great area pro like Jeff or David. Okay, we mentioned short game. Perfect segue here. Let's talk a little bit about chipping and pitching. Even maybe courses are opening this week all across Western New York. People are playing. It might be even a little softer conditions, but what are some of the things that are important? Let's even go backwards on this a little more. Chip versus pitch. Let's just define those two terms from two experts here.
So chip is simply getting the ball on the ground quick, generally a shot right around the green, and a pitch is pitching the ball higher in the air to have a softer landing, less rollout. I've always been of the philosophy that you chip when you can and pitch when you have to. Try to keep the ball as low as you can coming in. What's straighter than a putt? What's more accurate than a putt? Nothing.
Right.
So if you can get the ball down and rolling like a putt, utilizing the chip shot, you're going to be far better off. But then there's certain distances that becomes undoable. So then you have to switch your game and move to a pitch, which requires a little bit more room for error. It's going to come higher, roll softer or less far. So it's your it's you around the green trying to figure out where that break is. For me, I spend a lot of time with new players. Like, when can I stop chipping it? When can I start pitching it? And then we get into the fundamentals of it. But to understand the two, I think, is a really good question.
And I think people complicate it. They often go right away to the pitch. You know, they're right next to the green. They throw the ball up in the air and try to pitch it all the way to the hole, where they're just made a simple shot harder. So if you learn to chip, you know, a couple tips. One of my favorite tipping tips is, you know, for the fundamentals, I like people to get close to the ball, choke up a little bit on the club, move the ball a little bit back in their stance, and then raise the heel a tiny bit so the heel doesn't grab when you're hitting that. And then it's like a putting stroke. You're trying to have one lever, simple, not a lot of wrist action, right? And you actually hit it a little bit off the toe, so it deadens that shot a little, so it doesn't. You ever hit those chips that kind of scoot real hard on you? If you hit a little towards the toe with that heel up in the air, that enables that. You can control your distance and you can control your line. And you should be thinking about making him. You know, you're thinking about as a putt. So you should read it like it's a putt. You should hit it like it's a putt and try to make that shot.
Yeah, you pick out your landing area. And I'm a big believer in what Jeff said about getting the toe down on the ground and the heel off. Two instances. One, especially when it's wet. If you get that heel off the ground and eliminate that want to drag and fold the toe over and then hit that heavy shot. And what's more frustrating than hitting the turf 6 feet and the ball 4 feet? Not much more in golf.
Yeah.
Also, when you're in a high pressure situation, I spend a lot of time watching some good competitive golf out there. And when you're coming down the wire, put the toe up a little, or toe on the ground a little bit, pick the heel up a little bit, and reduce the levers. Try to the more movements you can remove from it, the less room for error.
Yeah, we're trying to create the simplest machine. A simpler machine has less things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
All right. Good advice from Jeff and David. Again, you can go find them, Jeff at GolfDojo, David here at East Aurora, and get some great tips from everybody across Western New York. Again, westernnewyork.pga.com if you want to get your son or daughter involved in drive, chip, and putt. If you're going to watch Claire tomorrow morning and you say, hey, I want to do that next year, or my son or daughter wants to get involved in it, it's free. You can sign up at the Western PGA website.
I just wanted to ask Drew one more thing.
Yes.
How the winner? People are wondering, you know, people are listening, people are chomping at the bit. They're wondering, how did golf courses do during the winter? It seems like it was a decent winter because of the snowpack.
Sure, definitely helpful. You know, we came out of the winter as good as I've seen, which is great for golfers because, you know, you're out there as early as we can get you out there. You know, there were no issues here this winter other than self-inflicted, being a little bit of tree work here and there. You know, I can't really speak for other superintendents out there and what they saw on their golf courses, but through the conversations that I've had with some others and some sales guys that have rolled through, I think most people came through the winter just fine. Yeah, it's been a snow cover, long snow cover and cooler temperatures. I mean, it's the best combination.
In this rain, this time of year is good for the golf course.
Boy, green it right up.
Yep.
Warm rain.
Yeah.
I mean, that's April showers bring May flowers, right?
There's a reason there's a
and it
thing
gets
like
grass
that.
going.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it everything all of a sudden popped a little green over the last 2 days.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see the buds on the trees too.
Turf is very dependent on soil temperatures, and we've had some good little shots of that. And it's been a great spring. Obviously a little wet this past week, but I think it looks like the end of next week we're supposed to start getting into some more Western New York spring-like weather. So I'm excited to see people out here. It's always a great time of year to see people start coming back and getting the ball, and they're all happy usually this time of year just to get out there a little bit. So
until they chip. Right. They got to work on their chipping.
Yep. Real quick before we let you guys go, David, the IJM is coming up in June. We come back here the week before to do a nice preview show, but there is a qualifier, I know. So if we have players that are interested in doing that, how do they go about that?
So you go right to the IJM website, which is completely separate from East Aurora Country Club. So I want to certainly get that out there. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated looking for something that won't be there. So internationaljuniormasters.com. There's a registration area, and the qualifier is May 4th. I believe it's the first Saturday in May.
Mm-hmm.
So once they get signed up for that, one of the tournament directors, chair people will reach out, let them know their tee times. Typically, it's 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock based on the field size. And the number of players that qualify also is based on the field size. So if we have very few, it'll be fewer qualifying. If we have more on the interest side of it,
percentage.
It's a percentage based, yes. So May 4th or on 12 o'clock, but you have to get signed up. And anybody that does make the qualifier, whatever fee is paid for the qualifier is applied to their entry fee. So it's not a double dip. It's trying to get people that are serious that want to come out here and try to qualify.
Yep, really cool. And you've got kids coming from all over the world.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Paul O'Brien, who is our player recruitment, I just mentioned that we have one from Iceland this year, which he can't remember one.
Got that flag ready, Drew?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yep.
It's a tough one to find down at the Walmart.
For those that don't know, Drew sets up all the flags of all the countries represented out there, kind of right in front of their putting green area, and it just looks awesome the week of the tournament. That's my favorite part of the tournament, is walking in and seeing all the flags.
We've got a great relationship with Ace Flag. So.
Get that Iceland flag ready.
Yep. So to answer, 13 countries is what we've been averaging from all over. Colombia, Mexico are both back this year. Peru. Not to steal any from the IJM, their spot in a couple weeks or months. We're super excited. It's a great week for us to showcase the golf course, the membership, and watch some really good junior golf.
Yeah, longest running junior invitational in North America, which is
lots of tour players have come through
awesome.
this event. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be back here in mid-June and do a preview show with a great event here in Western New York. So looking forward to that. All right, before we go, we're going to put you both on the record here. Who's winning the Masters next week? Drew, you got a pick?
You know what? I'm gonna go with somebody who's had some ups and downs over the last little bit, and I am going out on a limb, and I'm going to go with Jordan Spieth.
Okay,
that is out on a limb.
Speaking of good short games,
yes,
and a guy that knows how to get around the greens, and he knows Augusta National very well. Okay, I like it. What do you got, Dave?
Ludwig Aubert. I think that he's shining at the right time. Played well last year, last year was his second place finish.
Yeah.
So playing really well last week. He's certainly not taking a week off. He
almost won the Players Championship. Had the lead going in the final round.
He's peaking at the right time for a golf course. He seems to like walking around.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be one of the best TV weeks in sports beyond just golf.
We all know it's the unofficial kickoff of the golf season. So our members here get excited. We get excited. It's fun to watch. Yeah.
Well, we're excited to hear all about this renovation complex, and as always, the course looks great, Drew. So thanks again for coming on. David, thank you for the support of the show as always, and what you guys both do to grow the game in Western New York. So if anybody wants to maybe get membership information, where should they go?
So great question. So as far as membership is concerned, we are still full on the full golf side of things. We have 5 individuals on the wait list, so that can move a variety of different ways. So we are still taking interest and love to have a nice healthy waiting list. We do have openings for our social side of things, and we have a new, as Drew mentioned earlier, we have a new house manager named Holly Storier, and she will answer any possible questions that can come up. So you just, again, go to our website, you find the house manager phone number, 652-6800. Go to her number and she can answer anything. She's got a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge, and her goal is to make this a vibrant social place. And I'm confident that she's gonna take us to the next level.
She's got nice stuff to work with, that's for sure.
That is true.
Very nice. Drew, David, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
All right. Thanks for having us here. All right. Drew Thompson, Superintendent, David Jones, PGA Pro. We're live here at East Aurora Country Club on WGR and on our video stream at Tee2G Buffalo. Okay, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, Jeff Meadis and I will work through some of the headlines for next week's Masters, and then Kevin Sylvester live at 7:45 from the Valero Texas Open here as we roll on. East Aurora Country Club, thanks for being with us. Tee2Green coming back right after this timeout. Welcome back live to East Aurora Country Club. Big thanks to PGA Pro David Jones, Course Superintendent Drew Thompson for joining us last segment. But it is time now to shift gears. We look at this week's Valero Texas Open. Robert McIntyre, the Scot, 8 under par yesterday. He's up to minus 14 for the event, leading Ludwig Oberg by 4. Oberg is 4 back at minus 10. We're going to get a full leaderboard breakdown here. Kevin Sylvester is going to join us actually coming up here in just one moment.
And your Champions Tour report is brought to you by Donald Ross Sportswear, your hometown premium golf apparel company. Find us in your local pro shop or online at donaldross.com. Last week's event was the Hogue Classic, and Stuart Sink won by 4 over my man Ernie Els.
All right, next we go to the LPGA leaderboard, brought to you by NUTRL. Keep it tasty, Buffalo. The Aramco Championship going on in Las Vegas right now. And as we look at the leaderboard, a big lead for American Lauren Coughlin. She's got a 5-shot lead as of this moment over Leona Maguire from Ireland. So that's going on right now. Nelly Corda, though, tied for 4th. I know
she's been playing good.
She's been playing good. You love that swing. So she's got 2 rounds to make up 6 strokes, but she's only in 4th. So not too many golfers to pass. She can do that.
She can do that real easy.
Yeah. All right, there's our look around the PGA Tour, the Champions Tour, and the LPGA Tour. And now let's bring in part of our Tee2Green team, Kevin Sylvester, who's at the Valero Texas Open, covering it this week. Kevin, good morning. Kevin, we got you?
You there, Kev?
Hold on. Maybe we don't. Hold on.
I know he's anxious to talk to us.
Yeah, it could be. Hold on. Could be my phone setting here. Let me see if I can get this going. Sorry, Kev. We're going to get you on here if I can find you. Live radio, everybody.
Yes, we'll just keep talking here. The Valero's always a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it's a lead up, obviously.
I'm here if you're there.
Oh, we got you, Kev. Okay, we got you.
Okay.
Hi, Kevin.
Awesome.
Good morning.
All right. Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
That's right. Hey, Kevin, this week is a big prep week for obviously many of these golfers that will be heading off to the Masters next week. Before we talk about maybe who's at the top, just kind of what are they saying about using this week as a prep to get themselves as good as they can be for next week's first major of the year?
Well, the golfers who come here to prepare for next week are only preparing for competition, because this golf course is nothing. Well, there's a little elevation change, but it is not set up like Augusta National. Whereas last week at Memorial Park in Houston, more so, with how they keep the golf course, with the undulation of the greens and some of the trickery on the green. Now, trickery is not the word, but movement on the greens. This is just a big golf course. You do have the ball strike well here, so that certainly goes into play with Augusta National. But you don't always have to be the longest hitter here, at TPC San Antonio to have success. So I think players are here for the competition for the most part. And the other thing is weather. Dealing with weather through the first 2 rounds. Matter of fact, second round is not complete. We had a suspension yesterday, right before the end of our broadcast on PGA Tour Radio, with a thunderstorm that came through. We're expecting more of those today. They moved everything up here, and then there's more rain expected tomorrow. So it's at the Sagi Valero Texas Open this week.
And Kev, it seems like there's a difference. So some guys like to play this week to prepare for the Masters. Some guys like to take this week off. Anybody in your mind that's looking extra sharp as you've just been around the golf course and watching people play that you might think would be ticking towards that might benefit them that they played this week?
Well, I'll tell you, Hideki Matsuyama. And why do I say that? Because the year he won the Masters, he was here and played. As a matter of fact, I believe that year he missed the cut and was out here late on. I remember leaving the golf course, and I think we got delayed, and they had the lights on, and he was still out there putting and working on it. And he wins the Masters the next week. So I'll use Hideki. If you want to go through tradition with that. Jordan Spieth is playing. I heard Drew Thompson pick him to win the Masters. Jordan's won this golf tournament before. He's a Texan. It's the Texas Open. There's appeal certainly to play that for him. He's still spraying it a lot though, and I love Jordan's creativity. I think for the most part he's feeling healthier. I think there'll be an awesome thing for him. And then I look at Oberg, who I know David Jones picked. And, Ludwig Oberg, I think, is playing this week to get himself kind of turned around, right? I mean, he took some weeks off after, the final round of the Players, which did not go his way whatsoever. He's getting a little quick with a swing, at the end of that final round where he started pulling things, and it was just disastrous on there. So I think Oberg, and I think coming here, competing, and if things it'll either be one of the final two groups for the third round, I think this is good for him mentally to come here and have a successful week.
Yeah, Jeff Blank, who is producing for us today, he also likes Oberg, part of our Tee2Green team. So we've got a couple of Oberg picks.
And he's a numbers guy. He's picking them because of numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't go by gut. He goes by numbers.
Which is probably smart to do.
Yes.
How about at the top?
Well,
go ahead, Kev.
I was going to say, if you're going horses for courses, right? I mean, Oberg's performed well at Augusta National. So
it's true.
And the guy's a stud. I mean, he just is, and he's a very nice young man.
Yeah. How about Robert McIntyre? 4-shot lead, Kevin. He shot 8 under yesterday. What was his key in vaulting to this big lead?
Well, so let's look at Robert McIntyre, and let's look at conditions, and we should not be surprised, right? I mean, the guy's from Scotland, and he loves playing in windy, wet conditions, and that's what we have this week at San Antonio. And after the round, Mayan Patel, my colleague who was following him, talked to him, and he just said, I just love the golf course. It suits my eye. A lefty. He would be the third consecutive lefty to win at TPC San Antonio. Akshay Bhatia a couple of years ago in a playoff over Denny McCarthy. Last year, Brian Harmon.
That's right.
Matter of fact, I asked Brian Harmon on Wednesday, a chance to talk to him a bit during the practice round in the Pro-Am. And I said, hey, what is it about? Is there anything with the lefties here on this golf course? I mean, it's 2 years in a row. And he goes, I don't know. I've never played the golf course right-handed. So
great response.
Yeah, I thought it was a great answer. So, I do think, my opinion is there's a lot of holes here where they can work the ball off the bunkers with a draw for a left-hander. I think of some holes like 4 and 5 that are difficult. I think those are easier for a left-hander to work the ball a little bit, where the righties have to fight cutting the golf ball into trouble. And that's my thoughts on the left-hander. And Robert McIntyre, by the way, is a good front runner and very hard to beat when he gets a lead. And I think it's going to be very hard to beat this weekend.
Yeah. He had the best quote. What went well today? Everything. Yeah, I like that quote.
Yeah.
You know what else is funny? After in the interview, he was, Mayan asked him about, you got time, any good restaurant spots you can hit? He had a fabulous answer about, well, you've got to have Mexican when you're out here San Antonio, the Tex-Mex, and we certainly hit those up. He goes, you can see I like my food, so we're going to keep doing that.
Nice. One of our listeners chiming in on X, Greg, says he likes Brian Harmon. He goes, I think he's due. So says great show. So appreciate you listening, Greg. Thanks for your pick. All right, Kevin, it's your turn to give us your pick for the Masters. Who do you got here? We got about 30 seconds left here in this segment.
All right, I'm gonna get 30 seconds for it. Okay,
that's it. That's all you get.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with a cent. I'm gonna put it this way. I think it will be somebody from England, and I think it's either gonna be Justin Rose or Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
I don't know. Just gut pits there. You know, Rose, who finished in the playoffs last year against Rory McIlroy, and has had a couple of close calls there to win the Masters. I think he's going to be playing great. He's won this year. I'll nail down Justin Rose.
Okay. This guy, he knows how to make clutch putts. That's what you need to do at Augusta.
Yeah, he can handle pressure. Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, how can people hear you this weekend?
Well, Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio. If you have our channel 92, you can always listen on the app, the PGA Tour app. You can click on the leaderboard and it'll say watch live. I don't know why we don't have to listen, but you click that and then there's headphones. You can, or even the Sirius XM icon. You can click on that. That's free to listen to. And we are starting at 1 p.m. Eastern today. The Augusta National Women's Amateur is being broadcast also today on the channel. So we're going to split time with them, and hopefully we get it in today, boys. It does not look promising weather-wise.
Yeah, good luck. I know that can be frustrating when you're sitting there waiting and hoping that it gets done. But anyway,
all golfers do it. Yes,
that's true.
Yep.
Okay.
It's an outdoor sport, as my friend Jeff Mead said. It's an outdoor sport.
Yes.
By the way, I mentioned the LPGA leaderboard. We should mention the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Ascaris Talley is leading, and she's been someone that people have been following. She's got a one-shot lead over two other golfers going into today. She tees off at 11 a.m. That's Golf Channel coverage today too for that. If you want to watch that,
I'll be watching that today for sure. That's good golf.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. Thank you so much. We'll be listening, and we'll talk to you next week when we do our 2-hour Masters show.
All right, awesome, and happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you. Same to you. All right, Kevin Sylvester live at the Valero Texas Open. Again, check him out on PGA Tour Radio. All right, when we come back, a couple of news and notes on the Masters, and then Jeff and I will give you our picks here. Beautiful East Aurora Country Club. We sit inside the clubhouse. Hope you're watching us on our video stream at Tee2G Buffalo. We're on X, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, and of course, right here on WGR. More Tee2Green coming up from East Aurora Country Club right after this timeout. I'm just going to let this go for a
I
few
know. I
seconds
was
there.
going to tell you too.
Yeah. Brian, shut up. Yep. Yes, Augusta National.
The girls are there today.
That's right.
Yes, that's got to be a fun thing to walk into. Walk into Augusta National for the final round of a women's amateur major. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing this music all during the week. Good stuff. We'll get our picks here coming up in a moment. However, we got to make sure, of course, that this week there are some broadcasting rules, Jeff.
What? We don't follow the rules here at Tee2Green.
That's right.
We're probably not supposed to be bumping this. Yes.
All right. We probably shouldn't be playing this music, right? No, without. But you know there are certain words and phrases. If you do go on the radio this week at all, make sure there are some words you can't say. So first of all, you can't say fans. What are you supposed to say instead of fans?
Patrons.
Patrons. Okay, very good. You can't say rough. What are you supposed to say?
Is it the second cut?
The second cut. You're 2 for 2. Amazing. You can't say sand trap. What?
Bunkers.
Bunker. Wow, 3 for 3. You don't even need to go through
Sand
training
traps
here.
isn't correct anyway, but that's okay.
I know. You can't say back 9. What are you supposed to say instead?
Inward 9?
Second 9.
Second 9.
Second 9. That's right.
I just failed.
Can't say driving range.
Practice area.
Very good. Practice area. And you cannot say country club or golf course. It's the Augusta National Golf Club.
I knew that one too.
Yeah. And don't even say twosome. It's
Pairs.
Pairs.
And pairings.
Pairings. Can't say fourth round.
Final round.
Final round. And of course, the word sponsorship. Never.
Poor Bowden.
Do not say
Yes.
anything about sponsorship
Yes.
this week. Yes. All right. Good job.
That's why Gary Player's not welcome anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
You nailed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, when you're watching the TV coverage or the radio coverage this week, all those words, don't say fans, don't say final round.
Yeah.
Don't
It should be.
say-
It's part of our vernacular
Or-
after 50 years of watching this. That's for sure.
That's right. So anyway, welcome back here. We've got our final segment live at East Aurora Country Club. Again, eastauroracountryclub.com if you want to get membership information. InternationalJuniorMasters.com if you want to maybe get your son or daughter signed up. There is a girls division as well for that tournament. So looking forward to that. Okay. Drew Thompson, the superintendent here, picked Jordan Spieth. Ludwig Oberg to David Jones, the PGA Pro. Jeff Blank from our team picked Oberg. Kevin picked Justin Rose, so now you're up, Jeff.
Yeah, this is not the scientific pick. This is the heart pick. I'm picking Brooks Koepka. I just think if he could get his putter together, this is why he came back to the tour. The guy knows how to play in majors. He's got the power and the strength and the confidence. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Koepka, even though he's been putting poorly.
All right. I mentioned Fleetwood during the break here a little bit. And Kevin mentioned Fleetwood. I got a feeling like his confidence is high. He obviously last year won the FedEx Cup. He got his first PGA Tour win. I like him, but I know Jeff Blank in my ear is saying, don't just do it on your gut. Like have something to back up here. So here I'm going to pick.
Well, that's what I didn't do.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Here's my other guy, Colin Morikawa. He's had a really, really good start to this season, and at Augusta, being in the proper location on the green is super important.
Well,
So
I still think Scotty's going to win. Well, I
Yeah.
want to pick him.
no, you
Yeah,
can't pick
yeah,
Scheffler. Approach to the green stats on the PGA Tour this year, who's number 1 is Colin Morikawa.
I believe it. Yeah.
So I think that stat matters because where you hit it on the green, where you even miss is so important. So approach the green stat, Morikawa is number 1 on tour. So
he
I'm gonna
might be the best iron player I've ever seen
I'm
in the
gonna
last
pick him.
10 years. Yeah, I feel like he's just been one of the greatest iron players. The way he controls his flight and curves his ball, and he's just super solid with irons. It always has been.
Yeah. So I'll go. I'm hedging here. I'm going Fleetwood with my heart, but Morikawa with the numbers,
All right, I'm going Koepka with my heart and
Scheffler because he's the
Scheffler
best.
because he's going to win.
Yeah. Nobody has mentioned McIlroy. It's the first time we've mentioned him on the all show.
He's hurt.
He's had the back
played-
injury.
yeah.
He's the defending champion. Remember this, of course, last year, the epic Grand Slam.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah. So maybe you never know.
Yeah.
That's what happens there.
Next week, we'll be at Pendleton Creek Golf Club and obviously a ton of the Masters. We're looking forward to that. Big thanks to Drew Thompson, Superintendent, David Jones, PGA Pro, for joining us here from East Aurora. Again, eastauroracountryclub.com for more information. Thanks to Jeff Blank for doing our video stream producing. Evan DePasquale, our WGR producing back in our Amherst studios. For PGA Pro Jeff Meadis, I'm Brian Colziel. Thanks for listening. Tee2Green every Saturday right here on WGR.